Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Phyllis Boache. You can call me Phil or Phyllis for short. Anyway, today I'm going to discuss with you my birthing experience, my pregnancy experience, and my birthing experience. So stay tuned and listen to my story. If you are new here, kindly subscribe. And if what I'm going to talk about resonates with you, whether new or old subscriber, kindly comment and leave a like. Okay, so let's dive right into it. So I'm going to talk to you guys about my pregnancy journey and my birthing experience. Okay, so if it is your first time getting pregnant, it is different for every single woman. In fact, it's so amazing how the body goes through series of changes to bring out this beautiful human. It's so amazing. Anyway, so let's talk about my pregnancy journey. There was a time in my life I was really sick. I couldn't walk properly, I couldn't sit. Then we went to the hospital. The doctor ran pregnancy tests, did some scans and x-rays, and drum roll. He said that, guess what he said? Drum roll again. He said, I have constipation. Can you believe that? Yes, he said, I have constipation. So he prescribed medicine for me. I went to the pharmacist, and the pharmacist looked at me and said, you must really have some serious constipation, because the drug he prescribed for me, it was crazy. Anyway, I took it about once. Yeah. So I was there and I decided, okay, do you know what? Let me just go to the doctor close to my house. So I went to the hospital close to my house, and then this doctor said, oh, you have ovarian cysts. Yes, the ovarian cyst. And that was the first time I was hearing something like that. I never thought I would have that kind of a problem, right? So this doctor prescribes a drug for me and tells me that, within a week, it should all come out like blood, like in the form of blood. I said, okay, well, I'll do that. I took the drugs, and it was a week. I was speaking to my sister, and she said, you know what, Phil, just go to a different hospital. And I said, oh, the doctor said, she said, just go to a different hospital or buy a pregnancy kit and check, because I don't think it is normal. Just check yourself. I go and buy the pregnancy kit, and lo and behold, yes, I was pregnant. Now, my whole world was it was like falling apart right in front of me. Do you know why? Because I felt, what if I had done something to this fetus, to this baby? Like, all the drugs I took, what is going to happen to my baby? In fact, the anxiety was killing me. So I spoke to a friend of mine, and she said, we'll go to this hospital. The doctor is very good. Look for this doctor. And I did. I listened to her, and I went to the third hospital. And when I went to the third hospital, this doctor was thorough. He was that good. He took his time, and he saw that there was no ovarian cyst. I was actually pregnant. Can you believe it? Yes, I was pregnant, and I was happy at the same time. I was scared, and I told the doctor the kind of drugs I had taken. He said, don't worry, you'll be fine and all that. So that calmed me, right? So now let's move on to the whole journey of being pregnant. Being pregnant is different for every single lady. Like, no one pregnancy is the same. No one woman with different children during their pregnancy stages are the same. No, none is the same. Okay, so now let me talk to you about my first pregnancy. So my first pregnancy, and immediately after I got to know I was pregnant, guess what? I never got close to egg. I hated eggs. I didn't want to go close to onions. Like, I loved onions in my food. I just didn't even want to see it. I didn't want to taste it in my food. I literally hated the kitchen. Yes, that was one of the reasons why I paused on my Food Crunch with Phyllis series on YouTube, because I didn't like the idea of going to the kitchen. In fact, some few weeks to knowing that I was pregnant, I went to Tema and bought a box of fish and a box of chicken. I couldn't stand it. I had to dash it out. Yes, I did. So the feeling of being pregnant and what it comes with it is different for every woman. Now, I wasn't bedridden, so I would say I had quite a good pregnancy. Yes, for me, I wasn't bedridden, just that I was tired most of the time, but I could do certain things. I could clean the house, I just couldn't cook, right? I just couldn't go to the kitchen and cook, so that was mine. Can you believe it? Before I got married, somebody told me how for her pregnancy her sister had to cook throughout all her pregnancies, and I was like, what are you talking about? Is this for real? Were you being lazy? But trust me, if you get pregnant, that is when you know that things are there. People go through things you don't even know how. Like, I couldn't even crack an egg. It was that bad. I couldn't get close to an onion. It was that bad. Anyway, my pregnancy was quite smooth. I would say I was going to the hospital every month to see the doctor. I was having scans, which was good. I had different scans from different labs to test whatever. Yes. Now let's move on to the part where the labor started. Yes, the labor time. Guys, labor is different from pregnancy. I would like to be pregnant all my life than to go through labor. Okay, for me, I don't know about you, I don't know about your pregnancy, but labor, guys, it is a killer. Labor is crazy. Trust me. No woman will go into the labor room thinking that it's going to be easy. But when you get there, that thought is worse than it's not going to be easy. It's like it's something you never anticipated. Like, you thought it wasn't going to be easy, but it was nothing like how you would feel at that point. It is never going to be like that, right? So I was home around 7 o'clock on Friday. I just feel the sharp pain, and I say, "Oh, honey, I think I am in labor." Mind you, we've been doing research on how labor works, what you have to do, how you have to rub the back, and every 5 minutes there's contraction, and after each contraction, if it keeps building up, the contraction keeps building up, then that is the time, that is when you know that you are really in labor. And of course, when you watch movies, what do you see? The woman is pregnant and she goes to the hospital. "Oh, I'm pregnant. Yay! My water just broke. I go to the hospital. Push, 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 push. You've given birth, isn't it?" Well, that was all a lie. A big fat lie, guys. It was a lie. Actually, when you go into labor, you think that, oh, you are in pain, right? That is comedies. Yes, it is just it's just joking with you, like, "Oh, I'm just touching your skin, I'm just tickling you," that kind of feeling. Yes. So I go into labor and go to the hospital. Yes, go to the hospital, and the midwife looks at me and she says, "Are you sure the doctor said you should push?" Like, why would you ask me that question? The doctor said I will give birth through the vagina, right? So why are you asking me that question? And she says, "This stomach is very big. Did the doctor really say you should push?" She asked the second time. And then she kept quiet and they measured my tummy. And she said, "Yes, the baby is almost 4 kg. But did the doctor really say you should push?" I said, "Oh, please ask the doctor." So she goes ahead, calls or whatever she does, and then she comes back. She said, "Oh, the doctor said you are quite young, things are okay, so he's going to give you a chance to try and do vaginal delivery." So they did this whole test to see whether I was really, really in labor. After a while, they sent me to the room to go and relax. Relax? I'm here to push the baby out, and they're telling me to go to the room to go and relax. Okay, so we go to the room, and I had two in a room, right? There was a woman next to me who was sick, and myself. And after 30 minutes, I started feeling some pangs of, some pains, like crazy pain. I start hitting the wall. And my husband is like, honey, can you tone it down a bit? Like, there's somebody next to us, so that... What did you just tell me? Dude, what did you just tell me? Do you know what I'm going through? I can't even feel myself. Like, guys, that pain was crazy. So then, fast forward, I couldn't contain the pain again. I called downstairs, the emergency unit. I told them that they should give me something to relieve the pain, like some para or something. Mind you, if you're pregnant, your doctor has to discuss with you, what's the name? It's the name is gone. There's something, epidural. Yes, epidural. So your doctor has to discuss with you whether or not you'd want an epidural, right? This day, the doctor was supposed to discuss with me, but he was not there. A different doctor discussed that with me, and the doctor really said I should go in for epidural. But my doctor didn't discuss that with me, so I just threw that away. And here I am. I want pain relief. Pain relief. They brought some water, some drip on me, and they said, oh, this will help. It made it worse. Worse. Okay, I said I can't take this anymore. I was banging the door. I was banging the window close to me. I couldn't take it. And I go back to the emergency. In fact, I didn't have a room to give. I couldn't go to a labor room ward because they had fumigated there because of COVID. So I had to give birth at the emergency side, right? And I had the worst bed ever in my life. So this lady says, oh, I should lie down. It's now 4 or 3 cm. So very soon it will progress. During the early stage, it takes time. It took so long. If I had, I went for this, one time I went to the hospital, and then one nurse said it takes roughly 16 hours to give birth. And for the first time, I said 16 hours. Are you kidding me? That's different from what I see in TV. So I didn't really think it was the pain. I thought, okay, when it starts coming and how you feel like, oh, I need to give birth, and then you start pushing, and that will lead to 16 hours. I didn't think 16 hours was like the pain, like from minute 1 to 16 hours is crazy pain, intense pain. There's no stop, non-stop. The only time it stops is the 5 minutes interval. Guys, pregnancy and labor is crazy. I prefer to be pregnant than to actually give birth or be in labor. Not even the giving birth, the labor pains. That labor pain is crazy, guys. Okay, so let's go back to my story, right? The lady says I should relax. I couldn't relax. At some point, I was so tired. I was so weak. And then finally, after 8 good hours, I feel like I want to poop. I said, I want to poop. Please, I want to poop. I was shaking. I want to poop. I was just going up and down that uncomfortable bed and saying that I want to poop. And then she said, poop on your bed. I said, what are you talking about? I should poop on my bed? She said, yes, this is the time for you to do it. I said, I'm not doing that. She said, you have to. Then all of a sudden, she said, then that means the baby is coming. Yes, the baby was coming. And in 15 minutes, the baby came. But before I was able to push it out, they said I should scream. And I started screaming, like, ah! And one assistant midwife was just passing, and then she looked at me somewhere and she said, do you think this will bring the baby? You're going to kill the baby. Oh. Push like you are pooping. So when she said that and she gave me that tip, I did that the second time, and the baby came out. Before the baby came out, she asked of my consent to cut me to perform an episiotomy on me. That is cutting a part of my flesh so that the baby's head can come, because my baby was quite big, as she had told me earlier. So I allowed that. I didn't feel any pain when she was cutting me, because that pain, that labor pain, was more than any pain I had ever experienced. Like, no pain can bypass or overpass that labor pain. Guys, it's crazy. So the giving birth itself can take, if you push well, can take about 15 minutes for you to push, and the baby will come, or about 3 pushes. That's 3 contractions, because it's when the pain comes, that's when you're able to push. That was my experience. Yes, that was crazy. And when the baby came, the breathing, like the relief, guys, you have no idea. Men, if your wives are in labor, please, you have to pray. You have to pray with them. You have to pray to God to help them all, because that labor pain is worse than pregnancy. Trust me, it's worse than pregnancy. So this is my pregnancy experience. This is my labor experience. So the lessons I learned from this whole pregnancy and labor experience is that sometimes you go to the hospital and a doctor might make a mistake and it will cost you your life or your baby's life. So it is better for you to make inquiries, do your due diligence. Like, I don't mean go to different hospitals, but I mean that read about things. When your doctor tells you this, read about it. Go to the internet, because you have access to information more than our parents ever had access to information. And for my labor, when you're going to the labor room, pray to God that you get a good nurse, a good midwife, because the midwife I got was so calm and patient. Every single time she'd be like, oh Phyllis, take your time, Phyllis sorry. She was really calming me. So just pray that you get a good nurse, okay? And secondly, try and go for your antenatal. It's very important. And when you go, try and also get to know some of the midwives. All right, there's nothing wrong with getting to know the midwives who would assist you in labor. Okay. And third, whenever they tell you to do something during the labor time, please just listen, unless you think it doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, you hope that there's somebody by you to really help you. And if you know that things are not really going well, I know some people have lost their children because of negligence. Please, you have to be alert. That time is a serious and critical moment. You really have to be alert. So this is my entire, it's not to the detail, but this is a summary of how my pregnancy journey and my labor journey was for my first time. So approximately 8 hours instead of the 16 hours I went through that pain and gave birth. Yours might be different. It can take days before you actually give birth from the start of labor. So that pain, guys, that pain is really real. So please, when you are pregnant, do your due diligence, and so that it does not cost you dearly. So if you enjoyed my storytelling and you're new to my channel, kindly subscribe, hit on the notification bell, hit on this the comment, write something, just tell me about your experience. And if you think your experience was crazy, I would really love to hear it. Okay, and see you next time. Bye. Guys, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have amazing stories to tell you about my life. I have food to cook to show you, and a lot of fun. So see you next time. Bye.